We're going to talk some mid-round gems today. Some guys we may not hear called on Thursday or Friday, but on Saturday we might have some fun with some of these names. We'll go offensive mid-round gems, and then we'll follow it up with some defensive mid-round gems. Let's talk about the guys that are going to score points. Who you got?
Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
The wide receiver from Colorado State. I think he is an ideal mid-round gem. And the reason I say that is because so often when we're looking at wide receivers, we judge them based on their speed and explosiveness and those things. But at the end of the day, I want guys who can catch the ball and move the sticks.
Yeah.
Like
come on.
I know DJ
Come on,
like
baby.
that.
Yeah.
So, look, this guy's he really screams as a prototypical possession receiver, a guy that is tough. He does his work in between the hashes, catches the ball in contested situations. He's physical, breaks tackle, has a little run after catch ability. I believe in the right offense as a number 3 receiver tasked to run over the middle of the field. I think Michael Gallup is going to be one of those guys that we talk about for a long time.
I loved watching Michael Gallup at the Senior Bowl, especially in practice in the week leading up to the game. Thought he was fantastic. I'm going to go to a guy that also had a pretty good offseason, but in the East-West Shrine game, DAURICE Fountain. And, I think he ended up with 3 catches in that East-West Shrine game. Also returned a couple of punts in that game. And he was the guy making those difficult catches in Tampa in practice. And that's something that I'd love to see. And this is a dude that scores the football, okay? I'm talking about in Northern Iowa here. Once every 6 catches,
Guy like that.
he scored a touchdown.
I like that.
That's a dude that can score, put points up on the board, and maybe a guy that you find some real value in mid-round.
I loved his tape. I love what he was able to do. He dominated his level of competition. There we see in the role of Clips.
Yeah.
He continues to put the ball in the paint. I love the way he wins 50-50 balls, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
He has an opportunity on the outside to be a terrific playmaker.
All right, let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball here and find some mid-round gems. Bucky, who strikes you there?
Holton Hill, the cornerback from Texas, and knowing Holton going all the way back, watching him in high school, he is a long-rangey playmaker, a guy that is tough, he's physical, he's fast, he has good instincts, and really what I like about him is in this conference where he's challenged a lot, the guy stood up to the competition, does a great job of making plays, and as long as he is, I think he has the ability to go inside and be a big nickel. You just don't see guys that are this physical, this long, that can play inside and don't mind mixing it up. I like Holton Hill in a zone-based system. I think he's going to be a terrific player.
I almost wore my my IU gear in
but
because I didn't, I'm going to give you an IU guy here. Chris Covington.
Oh man, look at this.
Now he's not a guy that you might most associate with a Indiana draftable prospect this year, but went to the combine, performed pretty well, and this is a guy, Bucky, that came to IU as a quarterback, okay, and actually played at IU as a quarterback, ended up tearing his ACL, and then in the next spring, coaches are like, let's switch over to linebacker. You're a physical dude. You're an athlete. Let's see what you can do. And you're seeing it here from the combine.
That athleticism is nice.
And he's a lengthy dude. He's got some good size. He had 12 tackles for loss in 2017. He was the team defensive MVP last year. So like Ian Thomas, the tight end out of Indiana, who's just kind of scratching the surface of his potential at this position, Chris Covington is like that as well. And this may be more of a mid to late round gem. I'm not sure he's going to go 4th, 5th round. We may see him more 6th or 7th, but this is a guy I think that if he can get on a roster and stay on a roster, he's got a chance to really improve and be a guy that might be an eventual.
His versatility is really, really impressive. His athleticism, the fact that he made the transition from quarterback to linebacker speaks volumes about his toughness, because most quarterbacks can't make that kind of transition. And so when I look at the athleticism, I look at the traits, he certainly will have an opportunity, and he could find a role as a special teams demon early before he makes his way into the lineup.